All right. Happy Monday, everybody. It's Deborah Dixon-Anderson. And I got Miss Athenia Rodney on our Marketing
Hello,
Monday. I'm
hello,
so
hello.
excited. So excited. This is just so great to have her on my Marketing Monday with me and to share everything that we're working on. Well, not everything. We got to keep some things
She's some
kind of under
things.
wraps, but we'll be sharing a
Hmm.
lot about what we have going on. So just to start with, I'm Deborah Dixon-Anderson, founder of Light of Gold PR and Gold Wellness Circle, and a couple other businesses I'll share on another call about that. But Gold Wellness Circle is a nonprofit. We're now working on some exciting events in partnership with Athenia and her wonderful organizations as well. And we'll probably go back to our bi-weekly Marketing Monday, which is typically based on some marketing related topic. And I figured that this would be a perfect time to share about partnerships, especially since we have this wonderful partnership with together. So I introduced myself, so I'm going to turn it over to see. I got a point over here. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Athenia so she can share a little bit about
Sure.
herself as well.
Sure. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Athenia Rodney. I'm CEO and founder of Juneteenth NY and Emoji Events. 15 years running. So I know Juneteenth has become a national phenomenon recently in the last, 3 or 4 years. But we definitely were doing it long before it was popular. And essentially, what we do is we have a platform that allows for partnership. Like that is essentially the goal of our organization. How do we create partnership within the Black community so that we're able to level each other up and make our brands go national? So, what are we doing to make that happen? And I'll stop there because I could go on forever on
Yeah.
all of the different things that we do. Like you said, we partner in so many different ways. So I'll pass it back to you.
Yes, absolutely. So, I think it would be a good idea to share with everybody just how we met because, the clock, you said you started 15 years ago with Umoja. I met you 14 years ago and you were with child
Hmm.
14 years ago. And that young man is 14.
Hmm. Indeed, he is
Yeah.
14 in high school and doing his thing. So we met. The first time we met was at a chamber
We
event,
met at the
right?
Brooklyn Chamber. We were both
Yeah.
members of the Brooklyn Chamber. So shout out to the Brooklyn Chamber.
Brooklyn Chamber
Yeah.
of Commerce, whoop, whoop. And
Mhm.
like you talked about,
Yep.
as far as networking, that's another great networking tool
Yep.
for people to
Yep.
utilize, especially when you're going to a new area and you're not familiar, to get to know businesses that are in the area, Brooklyn Chamber and chambers in general, because there are a number of
Yes.
different chambers.
A number
There's Women's
of them.
Chamber, Black
Yep.
Chambers,
Yep. There's the
locale chambers,
New
all
York,
kind of.
the Greater New York Chamber. Shout out to them. There's the Chelsea Chamber, the Manhattan Chamber, also the New York Women's Chamber. So we have a lot of relationships with chambers of commerce, not just here in New York, because fun
Right.
fact, we both do business across the country, but also in Atlanta. And so, we'll
ATL.
share about that, about the ATL and our connection there. So we'll share some more about that later on also. But you know what, Athenia, I think it might be a good idea to also talk a little bit about what makes a good partnership, even
Mm.
talk about a little bit how we became partners and just joining forces and doing these events together. So I'll turn the mic over to you. You could, share your thoughts and I'll chime in.
Sure, sure. So definitely things that make a good partnership, what I've found over my years have been synergy. So making sure that the person that you are partnering with has something to offer equally as good as what you're offering. So that has been a big to do for me. I've gotten burned in plenty of times, partnering with people
Yes,
who were more sappers, like they were taking energy, taking
yeah,
resources, taking
not
time,
giving.
and not really giving.
Mhm.
So being able to know what you're worth and what you have to bring to the table is definitely a big piece of that.
Yeah.
So partnering in spaces where you are giving in equally to each other is a big thing as far as partnership is concerned. And then, which is something that we've instituted amongst us, is like having tools to be able to hold each other accountable, whether it be a contract, whether it be, setting boundaries, like what does that look like? Even, and I'll share over this weekend, we had our own like boundary set kind of situation, right? I have 3 children and I'm constantly running. And this has been an extremely busy week for me. And we were trying to prepare for this weekend. And I had said I was gonna, get back to Deborah. I was like, I'm gonna send you some information by the end of Friday. And it wasn't until Sunday that I actually got to sit still and like get to write a bunch of stuff out. And she was like, I typically don't check my emails or engage in work on a weekend. And I was like, you know what? I can't even be mad with you because that's your boundary and I have to respect that. And I was
Right.
like, okay, I'll wait
Yeah.
till Monday. Um,
Right. And you know what? It's all in love. This is all in
mhm.
sisterhood.
No, I didn't
You
take it
know,
anyway. I was like,
we've known each other for years. And so,
mhm,
and I understand, because I know you're a mom, a wife, you got kids. And I was like, I know Athenia probably is downloading everything from her brain right now, but I can't focus on it because I'm like laying on the couch because it's Sunday. So it's just, that's just me being real. That's us being real and authentic. But what
mhm,
is important about the
is that we're
system,
able to do that.
the partnership, that we're able to communicate this, not come to
Yeah,
blows about it.
yeah.
Oh, I can't partner. I know people like that. I partner
Mhm,
with people who just like shut it all down, cancel you entirely.
mhm.
And that's not what this is about. It's just about us learning our rhythm and
Yeah.
being honest and authentic about, okay, this works for you, this is what works for me. How can we come up with a good system that can
Yeah.
work for both of us? Because
For
I
both of
want to
us.
respect your boundaries too. So it's two sides
Mhm,
to this, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna
mhm.
happen, and it's okay. And that's why it's so good to like have these upfront and personal discussions about, hey, what works for you? When are you available? This is when I'm available. Let's figure this out and everything.
Mhm.
So that requires a discussion. It also requires putting things in writing.
You're right.
A
Yeah.
lot of this stuff, we carry so much stuff in our heads. Personally, my brain is full. It's like no more input. I can't. So some of it
Yeah.
has to be written out, and this is not about like being distrustful. It's being
Mhm.
accountable and just
Yeah.
laying it out, because we are both, Athenia and I, are in our flow. I just
Listening.
came
Yeah.
from a site visit in Harlem, literally in Harlem. I was messaging I was messaging Athenia and my team on WhatsApp on the train. Thank God for great Wi-Fi on the MTA. Thank
Exactly.
you. But I was just going there, and this is, now my Monday. Hers was over the weekend with her family, her events and everything. Mine is like when I got here today, just
Mhm.
making sure that I can do what I need to do. So it's all done in love and understanding of how we flow. And
Right.
most of all, how can we make this partnership work, for us, for the people we're trying to impact? And a lot of that is going to require being productive. And what does that look
Mhm.
like for us? It may look different
Mhm.
for someone, for another set of partners.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's something that you said that I didn't share that I think is key to focus on is
Mhm.
having us the same target, right? I've
Yes.
been talking a lot about target markets
Mhm.
overall and what, when you are able to identify who your market is, who your community is, who do you service, right? And you know who your community is, then you know who is best to partner with. because
Hmm.
maybe me partnering with you didn't serve my community, and then that wouldn't be a good partnership. So
Right.
even though we both have something to offer each other, it
Hmm.
doesn't serve us because it doesn't work for our organizations. So
Right.
I want to
Right.
also add to that, that being having a having similar goals or the same goal, and being
Mhm.
able to go at it from different angles.
Right, right. And that's just so powerful because I think that's what made our partnership just so seamless and impactful
Hmm.
to who we're both going after as far as communities, as far as partners, really across the board. A lot of what Light of Gold PR does and Gold Wellness Circle does, we work with, minorities, we work with Black and Brown communities, BIPOC communities, all communities really. And that kind of made a really good partnership for us, because we are trying to impact the same, folks. And that's really
Hmm.
important. And why not join forces and leverage, I like to call it our individual zone of genius, because we both have it. We've both been
I like
out
that.
here for a long time, rolling in the same communities, the same people, the same, business community. So why not leverage what we have, together, and then we could have
Hmm.
even more impact. I feel like, helping on the ground in New York City, can be helpful. We're also going to be doing some events in Atlanta too. So this is interesting because we're in two parts of the country, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to make it
Definitely.
work. With there, plane, trains, and automobiles. So I could go right over to Georgia.
Exactly.
Athenia
And
will
we can,
be
and I'm
here in,
always in New
New York,
York in a
so
heartbeat.
we're
So
always in New York, and so we make it happen, and that's what it's all about. And so I think that is the beauty of this, is just the impact, what we're trying to do, what our goals
hmm,
are. They aligned, and that's what made
right.
sense. So this all started back like in June or July when I was visiting Georgia. I think it was around that
Hmm.
time, and we met and we sat down and we just really had a great powwow. I think we were together for four or
Yeah.
5 hours.
Five,
It's
4 or 5 hours. Yeah.
about 6 months out, just in that
Hmm.
meeting, just kind of what our vision was. We made a decision to be on each other's boards.
Yeah.
And you could share about Juneteenth. Our Go Wellness Circle is now a 501c3 nonprofit, and our three pillars include cancer support, breast cancer awareness. I'm a 5-year breast cancer survivor, so that's very important. So this has been a party in
Hmm.
pink month for me. October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ladies, 40 and
Yeah.
over, get your mammograms. Get
Get
it?
your
I will
mammograms.
shout it from the rooftops, and do your breast checks too. So it's really important. So any
Definitely.
moment I get to advocate, I will do that. The other is Alzheimer's, because my mother was personally impacted by that. And at the same time, I had breast cancer. So we do fundraisers and education for that. Our third
Hmm.
pillar is food insecurity, which we feel like is a
Hmm.
big, big thing, which I never thought I'd see in now, but it's real. And so we want
Yeah.
to rally support, events, education, whether it's with food pantries and understanding about eating nutrition, eating more with more nutrition, all of that we want to be able to do with Go Wellness Circle. And so, we figured
Yeah.
that having Athenia on our board, being on her board, then that way, again, leveraging our zone of genius. And so let's share about Juneteenth. I love that I work with Athenia up close and personal. So, I mean, she's a powerhouse. That was 2019. Before this whole thing, with Juneteenth becoming a holiday, she's been in the trenches of Juneteenth for
Definitely.
all these years before it became popular. Okay. So,
Definitely. Definitely. So before I jump into Juneteenth, I wanted to share, I mean, why it made sense for me to want to join, like when we talked about synergy and similar goals. My mother, my family, we had bouts of cancer. Thankfully, I have not, but I'm very diligent in making sure that I am on staying in that space. And then as far as Alzheimer's, my grandmother-in-law, she actually turned 96 on last
Oh,
Friday. She has
sure.
Alzheimer's, and it is a space of contention always, trying to figure out how to take care of her family, concerns, all of those things. So that's always very present. And then when you talked about food inadequacies, during COVID, I was a New York City hero because of the work that we were doing in Brownsville with being able to bring food and give out food and stuff like that. So when you
That's
talk about
awesome.
synergies, it's definitely very prevalent in our
Powerful.
worlds and being in the spaces, even though it's not something that is my main focus of what I do.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
all a part of my being, and things that I care about. Um, so to talk about
Yes.
Juneteenth and what we have going on. So Juneteenth, this is our 15th year that we are celebrating this year. Our theme is Juneteenth Unveiled. We are getting back to our roots. And when we talk about that, it's like, what exactly does our roots look like? What does before slavery mean? What is that? What was the Atlantic slave trade look like? What were our ancestors going through during that time? Talking about, there are a lot of things that we don't really discuss when it comes to the history. We talk about the event, but the things that led up to and how people got through that event, and especially going through COVID and having an event of our own. It was like the event is talked about, also went through 9/11. The event is talked about, but all of the things that happened around that event to get there is not talked about. All of
Right.
the emotional turmoil, all of the things, the before and the after, how we got out of it. What did people need to do? How did they survive? How did they connect? How did they bond together? How did they create community in order
Yes.
to move past that? So Juneteenth, like I shared early on, is about creating community. Like, how are we creating community around elevating our BIPOC entrepreneurs so that
Yeah.
they can have national and global success? So we are partnering this year with Ghana. So we will have some Ghanaian consulates, some Ghanaian, hopefully some prime ministers and kings that'll be coming over to join our Juneteenth event this year. Our event is a series of days. We will start off with a panel that'll be talking about things that are important to our community. Like we just shared, we're talking about anything having to do with mental health, with physical
Mhm.
health,
All of it.
and all the things in between. So we're looking for ideas on
Hmm.
what you would like to hear at the panel. So that is definitely one thing. We have our Black King celebration that we do. This will be our third year celebrating our Black Kings. So we look for 28 African American men that we would like to honor. They are all under the guise of Kwanzaa, though. So if you know somebody in faith, somebody in economics, somebody in unity, somebody in cooperative economics, all of those things. So all of those different areas of Kwanzaa, what we're looking for, and we will honor 28 men, and it's a big celebration. ABC7 is our national sponsor, so they media sponsor, so they come in and they will be recording everything. On Saturday, we are in the community. So we do our community day. That's the day for us to give back. We have the New York Nets, the New York Liberties who come and they do basketball tournaments and they give out free gifts and things in that space. We have local contests, we have vendors, we have food trucks, we have activities, we like it race, all of that stuff for the kids. On
Hmm.
Sunday is our concert day and fashion show, and that is led off by our parade. So our parade starts the day off, and then we go into our series of events. And this year, a little birdie told me that we might be doing something a little special. So I don't want to blow it up yet until we
Yeah.
get everything confirmed. But that's pretty much what we have
Yeah.
in store for this year.
Yeah. That's Juneteenth. We jumped all the way there. Don't forget, we're super
All of the
excited
things leading up.
about Kwanzaa. And
Hmm.
Kwanzaa is our Kwanzaa event is coming up on Friday, December 29th. That's the day of
Yes,
cooperative economics, which, it's just so exciting. And we want to do different events, maybe at different venues and also via virtually. We want
virtual.
to
Yeah.
do something to include all the different communities with Kwanzaa. And so for Kwanzaa, if you're interested in being a vendor, if you're interested in performing, if you're interested in being a sponsor, we need you to reach out to us. We're going to have a form on both of our websites,
Mhm.
lightofgoldpr.com, as well as is it Juneteenth?
Juneteenth NY, JuneteenthNY.com.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it will be there, and you can fill out that form and submit it if you're interested in whether it's volunteering, vendoring, sponsoring. It will probably end up being from 10:30 to 6:30. I'll tell you more about that, Athenia. I just found that out, but
Okay.
it's a little bit. So that's the time frame. It will be in Harlem, but we can't tell you where just yet. So just give us a minute. We'll tell you where. And just in case, if it's not in Harlem, it'll be in Manhattan or Brooklyn, but we're going to have it. And we're going to
Hmm.
button all this up within the next 2 weeks. And we're going to let you know on our social media as well as on both of our websites.
Definitely. So make sure to follow us.
Yes.
We're Juneteenth NY on Instagram and Facebook, and then our website is JuneteenthNY.com.
Mhm. And we're also everything Light of Gold PR, but also Go Wellness Circles. So make sure that you're following us, that you're, staying on track with what we'll try to do this again in another 2 weeks when we have more information to share. I think what we're so excited about being able to partner with ABC TV and all the other partners, there's going to be more that we'll share over time. But if you want to be a vendor, we will probably only have 12 to 14 tables. So
Yeah,
please,
very limited amount.
they're gonna go fast.
Very
And
fast.
it's gonna go very quickly, probably maximum 15, 14, 15. So if you're interested in being a vendor, definitely reach out to us. That way we could keep you in that number.
Hmm.
And I think the other thing to keep in mind when it comes to whether it's press or marketing, branding, all of our imagery, Light of Gold PR is definitely going to be helping with all of that. So you'll see a lot of changes on both of our social media and our sites and everything. And we're hoping to do a lot of interviews and get some other media partners involved. So this only spells success for any businesses that choose to be part of this. So just think about that. I mean, you have, two powerhouse women of color here with some fantastic relationships that we build connections. And so just being part of this, we want to be able to give some exposure back to small businesses, to organizations, cultural organizations. That's what this is about. We want to share and be part of this. And it is cooperative economics, so that we're trying to make
Indeed.
sure that we're doing that's really important to both of us in all of our organizations.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. So what some of the inspiration behind this has definitely been um Kwanzaa, just like Juneteenth, was not is a holiday that doesn't typically get the light or acknowledgement from general population, right? And so we wanted to utilize this time to highlight what Kwanzaa stands for and the different principles that it stands for, and not just to talk about it, but to actually be about it. And
Mhm.
so, in being
Yes.
about it, that's why we created this opportunity for us to be able to highlight our vendors and our performers, and to be able to have panels where we're talking about different ways on how to expand financially.
Yes.
Typically, it's the end of the year and everybody's talking about goals and what they want
Yes.
to do for the new year and all of these things. And this
Mhm.
is a great space to be able to do that and to have partnership. And one of our partners, our sponsors for this event, that we're looking to partner with, will be a big to do. So we want you to make sure that you are connecting with us for that and don't miss out on that opportunity, because it helps. this opportunity will help you financially and can help you with being able to substantiate your company.
Mm,
Like I said, at the focus for us is to help BIPOC organizations to grow nationally, and the
yeah,
only way that we can grow nationally is when we are prepared to do so.
yeah.
So that is what we're going to be talking about during that time frame as well.
Absolutely. Having the right tools is just critical. So the educational portion of our Kwanzaa event, as you know, really all of the events that we're doing, the crux of a lot of what we're doing includes education, includes connecting to the proper resources. And so there will be educational components. It's a perfect time, just like Athenia said, to do some planning for first quarter 2024. It's right around the corner. We only have 2 months left in this year. And so making sure you're educated about financial planning, taxes, all of that stuff, that's going to be really critical. Even starting a business, what type of business do you want to start? You know, all of those types of things, we want to be able to share those resources. But we're also going to have entertainment, and you know, a lot of fun activities, so it's really going to be a great event, and we just don't want you to miss out. We want you to participate. We want you to be part of this. I'm just going to add one last thing, and we're probably going to get ready to finish up. I
Close
can't
out.
believe it's already been 25 minutes already.
I
This is,
know.
but the exciting thing that we're looking to do is in partnership and alliance, maybe with some other organizations, that maybe we could get a little snippet of your Kwanzaa event and integrate it into, you know, something that we're
What we're
trying to
doing.
do virtually. You know, so almost like kind of a Zoomathon where we just incorporate different cities, different areas, because we know we have some live and in person, but we would love to include other cities and other areas as well. So we're just really super excited about this. And again, want more information, there will be a form on both of our websites, lightofgoldpr.com and juneteenthny.com. You'll be able to get some information there. If you have any questions, you could drop them in the chat. We probably will be responding to some of those. We're going to go, my team and I are going to go back and check to see if anybody has any questions that we couldn't answer, because we've just been sharing information. But maybe next time we'll be able to open this up and include, you know, your questions, your comments. Maybe you can pop into our call. You know, we'll figure out how we're going to do the next one in another 2 weeks. But thanks, everybody,
Sounds good.
for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Debra. It was a pleasure being on
Yes,
this space and being able to share space with you and to our community. We love you. Happy
yes.
Monday. And
Happy
we
Monday.
hope
We love
that
you
you
too.
find purpose in your day.
Yes, yes. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you, Athenia, as always. And
No
everybody have a
problem.
fabulous day. God bless. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.